probably we should be debating a bill requiring every American to attend a church of their choice on Sunday.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Pope Benedict XVI is calling for a new world financial order. In the third encyclical of his pontificate, Benedict denounced the profit-at-all-cost mentality of the globalized economy.
The Vatican has come out and said that economic inequality across the world is very dangerous, and that the global economy needs to be based on ethical behavior, and the financial systems need to work towards an achievement of a universal common good.
Vatican calls for Central World Bank to be set up.
A proposal to create a new financial authority, including a global central bank and a new tax on global financial transactions.
Pope Francis on Thursday urged the downtrodden to change the world economic order.
This is a challenging economy across the globe, not just here in the U.S. It's challenging everywhere, and I think that it's going to take a lot of policy changes, and the Pope clearly has a view on that, is weighing in on that.
Is there a possibility that there will be a new world currency that will take over from the dollar?
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
The issue of the Sabbath will become very, very prominent in the world.
Talk to me about the Sabbath, what it means to you, and just religion aside, what it means to you.
One of the ideas, the political ideas, sort of embedded in the Sabbath, is the idea that as a society we have the right to take control of our time and say maybe as a democratic society we want to decide to bring back some rules about what can and cannot be done one day a week. And we might want to start thinking about ways to encourage people not to work on that day.
Seventh-day Adventist is a Christian denomination, and one of the things that we believe is observing the Sabbath. So from a young child, I was always brought up with Sabbath observance. So Friday night sundown and Saturday night sundown, as mentioned in the Ten Commandments. Remember the seventh day to keep it holy.
Which, may I just confess that I learned in my first meeting with Devon, all these years I thought the Sabbath was Sunday. I've been going to church. We say worship on the Sabbath, worship on the Sabbath in the Baptist church. And you corrected me. You said, no, Sunday is the first day of the week. Sabbath is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
That's right.
I stand corrected.
The day of rest, the Sabbath, because in 6 days God created the world. And on the seventh he rested. When Christianity came along, they changed that. And they made the Sabbath the first day of the week, because that was the day on which certain important events happened to Jesus.
Constantine had the authority to change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. And, looking through the Bible, we have not found evidence that anybody except God gets to make that declaration.
You know what? It's working on Sundays, true freedom. It basically says, you know what, all of this hard work that people are doing on the weekends, on Sundays, is having a negative impact on their life.
Sunday law, the Bible speaks about these laws that will be passed. They're called blue laws. They are an indicator that the close of probation is close, is very near.
Several states still have blue laws on the books. Those are the laws that restrict what you can buy on Sunday.
It's based on a centuries-old Christian concept brought over to this country in colonial times.
And anyone who does not comply with this law of the state, instigated by the church, will be persecuted. The religious leaders in the United States will push strongly for a national Sunday law, which eventually will lead to a universal worldwide Sunday law.
In the EU's original Working Time Directive, Sunday should be a weekly day of rest for European workers.
This is not necessarily a religious thing any longer, at least.
Should the Sabbath be a day of rest?
If we're going to, as a country and as individuals, if we're going to say, actually it's our relationships that are most important to us as a community, then I suggest that we have to make one day in the week give priority to relationships.
We've got to make
The Italian government will introduce a ban on Sunday shopping in large commercial centers by the end of this year. The reason? The Italian government feels that shopping on weekends is destroying family traditions.
Let's take a look at Libération that talks about sacred Sunday.
In our society, the Pope added, the rhythm of consumption is likely to steal from us the sense of celebrating Sunday as the day of the Lord and the community.
Our continuing catechesis on the Eucharist today centres on the importance of Sunday Mass. As Christians, we celebrate the Eucharist in order to encounter the Lord
to hear his word, eat at his table, and, by his grace, to fulfill our mission in the world as members of his mystical body, the Church. As the day of the resurrection and the Pentecostal outpouring of the Holy Spirit, Sunday is the Christian holy day par excellence. How could we pass this day without encountering the Lord? Each Sunday is meant to be a foretaste of the eternal bliss and repose to which we are called and which we share even now in Holy Communion. In the end, we go to Mass not to give something to God, but to receive from Him the grace and strength to remain faithful to His word.
The third angel's message is all about getting right with Christ so that we can avoid the punishment of the wicked. This is why the Revelator finishes up in Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that do what? Keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
God has told us that the final crisis, the final event that's going to precede his second coming is when the entire world joins together, and through the influence of the Roman Catholic Church and the Christian churches in the United States, they will join hands and make a law where Sunday is the day that we should keep holy. This will be the crisis that will precede Jesus' second coming. And as you can tell from the news articles and the current events that were just shown, we are living in that time right now. So what should you do? Now is the time that you ought to stop playing church. Now is the time we need to be turning away from those sins and turning away from the things that God has commanded us not to do, and obey him in spirit and in truth. Worship God fully. Surrender your life to him. And those who don't know him understand that this is a God that loves you so much that he gave his son to die for you. We have committed sin against God, but he loves us and paid the penalty. And he said, I will save you. I will give you everlasting life in the new heaven and the new earth. I've given this gift to you. All you need to do is accept me and then obey me, and he will transform your life to be more like him. Now is the time. Now is the time. There's no more time to play games. Now is the time to surrender your life to God. This world is coming to an end. Put your trust and your hope and your faith in God. He loves you, and he will sustain you through this coming crisis if you obey him and you believe in him, and most importantly, keep his commandments.